All right. So thank you both for speaking with me again. Season one was absolutely incredible. I was glued to the edge of my seat every single episode. I've watched the first few episodes of season two, and that ride has not stopped. So my question, I have two different questions for both of you. Leanne had a kind of hypnotic presence over everyone in season one, and it seems that we're starting to get a glimpse that that might not be the same case in season two. What is that like for you for that character journey?
It's great. It's so much fun to sort of play with the different colors and elements of this character because there really aren't any limits with her because we don't really know 100% what she is or who she is, and so it's great. It was a lot of fun to kind of tap into that different zone and that different headspace, and just look forward to continuing to creep everyone out for the foreseeable future.
And what's interesting about Leanne is that there's this innocence, but and almost like you want to really like her, but then on the other hand, like you said, it's also like you're also creeping me out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a struggle for me is trying to keep that duality alive and fresh. And, on the one hand, she's just a young girl trying to figure stuff out and, just wants to kind of be liked. And then on the other hand, she is this ethereal being with this kind of, spiritual or religious path, if you will. And yeah, you got to balance the two and make her likable sometimes, but also sometimes like absolutely terrifying. So it's just finding that balance.
I love that. And Rupert, your character Julian is I don't want to say comic relief, but the character itself is just so blunt oftentimes that you're just like it's kind of a much needed break sometimes in a very tense sort of, edge of your seat way.
Yeah.
Uh, put how have you put Rupert into Julian in that respect?
Yeah, not a lot to be honest. Julian is a very kind of alien creature to me. He's completely the opposite, really. Yeah, as you say, he's blunt. He's kind of in your face, and it's all kind of a front. It's this kind of bravado that I think he kind of depends on because he's refusing to grieve. I think everything is a deflection from that, and even with kind of his drink problem, the humor, I think he uses that as well as a way to kind of distract everything, and which is also a really important part. I think for a show, it's a very human thing to kind of see the humor in kind of the most tragic situations, and I think that's something that I always really loved about the scripts. Was this kind of dark thread of humor that kind of runs through the story, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So for both of you, seeing, after filming season one, I talked to you both right before season one debut. Now I'm talking to you for season two. Was it as exciting for you as artists to watch these characters' journeys from season one into season two?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it's just going to get more and more exciting for us as it progresses. I mean, I was so ready to see kind of the path that Leanne was going to take, and I was really, really happy with the direction she's going. And it's so. I mean, I feel like we're all pretty attached to this show and these characters now, and it's just great fun to watch it all unravel and watch each other's characters progress and change as well. I mean, it's great.
And how about you, Rupert?
Yeah, for sure. It's such a unique show. I think in many ways, the fact that it's kind of these fast, like half-hour episodes, all in this same location, this one place, which is a really interesting place to play a scene because it's a very intimate kind of confined space, and kind of everything is amplified, and it's a really kind of unnerving place to be in, and you do feel a sense of relief when you leave. And yeah, it's just you never really know what's around the corner because it's a classic night thing. You just you can never predict where this will end up, and I have no idea where this will go next. So it's yeah, that's kind of thrilling for me.
So as I was like 3 o'clock in the morning now, I'm like binging them because I want to watch as much as I can. And I'm like starting to fall asleep because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, no. I got to see what happens. I got to finish this episode. It's just such an edge of your seat show, but it's very smart too. It is very smart. And I love the way both of you, the entire cast, the four of you essentially carry this series, and you all have your own secrets. You all you all have your own agendas in many ways.
Mhm.
How is that as an actor to kind of, these are complicated characters, it's not these are not simple characters. How is that for you as actors in regards to playing something, maybe not as complex?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely challenging to keep our characters kind of breathing in a way. I don't know how to explain it, but like it's difficult. It's easy to fall into a pattern and to fall into sort of rhythms with a character. And with mine, she had this kind of very it wasn't one note, but she presented a quiet kind of demure front, and then for season 2 that kind of gets pushed out the window and she takes this big turn into something else. And so developing that and getting that right and making sure it was dynamic but also believable, it's really great to sink your teeth into. And that's what Rupert was saying earlier was so great about TV, is that you really get so well acquainted with these characters and these people, and they start to become sort of second nature to you, and then they chuck in something that is completely unlike your character and you have to kind of evolve into that world too. So it's just trying to avoid being stagnant with her and keep her fresh and keep her moving, but still keep that kind of core value that is Leanne the same.
And how about for you, Rupert?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's fascinating, really, kind of, because as you say, I think as a viewer, you're always kind of forced to ask that question, like, who can you really trust? Are these people good? Who's bad? So yeah, there's an element to that, and then the fact that you don't really know what could be around the corner. You kind of have to kind of have this preemptive kind of attitude, and you have to kind of try and kind of predict things that you don't even know yourself kind of coming your way. So it definitely keeps you fresh, and it's a lot of fun. It's a fun way to work, and it's nice not knowing. I enjoy that. It's something you can kind of use for sure.
What has been your favorite part of this process, or even well, I'll leave it at that. What has been your favorite part of the process of serving, particularly season 2?
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, so many things. I think well, this time around I've just had a baby, so I've had a whole new perspective. I mean, it's not the best show to be involved with when you've just become a dad, I think. So that's been a really interesting thing for me, kind of a whole new perspective, kind of really understanding the lengths that you'd go for your kid. It's a really kind of powerful love that I didn't really have much of a concept before. So that's been an interesting new dimension for me that I've kind of been enjoying.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of shooting the show is just like I love the content, I love the material. It's really lucky when you're shooting something that you're proud of, and I love working with the other three. The other three, I love working with Toby and Lauren. They're just like we've assumed this kind of weird little family dynamic in real life as well as on the show, and it's just such a great project and great people to be around. And so I feel very lucky that I actually like all of them, that none of them annoy me. Even though I annoy all of them every day, constantly, all the time, bringing them all of my problems every hour of the day.
So food and drink in many ways are very big parts of serving. Tomato, soup and a piece of toast.
Yeah, I lost you halfway through there, but you ended it with tomato soup and toast. So I'm guessing that one was directed at me.
Yeah,
I
had said, Nell, are you like sick of even seeing it at this point?
Oh my God. So you'd think that, right? Specifically that brand, I can't eat anymore because I just like, but I actually love tomato soup and toast. Like I'll make that quite a lot. But I use Heinz, which is that just English or do they have that in America?
You know, we have it. Yeah.
You definitely do, don't you? It's like probably an
absolutely.
American thing. Yeah. No hate to Campbell's, even though I don't even know if that's the actual one we use. But no, I do still eat it. I do still eat it. I eat like Leanne. I'm really picky like her, and I eat simple things.
And Rupert, you get, you know, arguably a better option with wine and some liquor. How, you know, do you think that with you the alcohol is a way to grieve, a way, or as you kind of mentioned earlier, a way for him not to grieve?
Yeah, I think it's another way to kind of it's a coping mechanism. I think it's something that he holds on to, and I mean he himself is a kind of very hedonistic person. He loves getting wasted no matter what the thing is. There's drugs or booze or anything. He's one of these people that loves to kind of experience that. So yeah. I mean, every scene I've got a glass of something. Wine is a huge part of the show, I think, and yeah, it's a really fun element, and the food is great because usually, kind of on set when you're eating the food, it's just a guy's just made it backstage to look like really great, but not necessarily
sprayed like hot chocolate with like shaving foam.
Yeah. There's none of that. It's all legit. It's all great food made by actually Toby and our on-set chef Drew.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. So it's the real deal, and it's amazing.
It's all real. The food.
That's all. So so that brings a whole nother element into it because now I'm like, wait, it's actual real food. It's not, you know, paint on top of a prop or something.
No, Drew would die. No, it's our on-set chef Drew, like Rupert was saying, and Toby, who's there, but like Toby's an amazing chef actually as well. And they have a kitchen on set, and they're constantly cooking the actual food and making it taste amazing. It's really quite amazing. I think this show's really unique in that retrospect, that it's when you see haggis, it's haggis. You know, it's
wow.
Yeah.
Yesterday, as I was saying, you know, I was trying to watch. I was trying to get every single second that I could in because I love the show so much. And I was watching the episode revolving around pizza, and I'm like, oh, like I just want to take it out of the screen and eat. It's just so good.
It was really good.
Amazing. That's Chef Drew's handiwork, that pizza.
Yeah, he kind of developed his own new dough. It was insane. The detail is something I love about this.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, thank you both so much. I really appreciate your time, and I'm looking forward to talking with you for season 3.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.